my Kinder Art friends. Today we're going to be talking all about the element of art, texture. Texture is the way something looks and feels. And so there are two types of texture. There's physical texture, where I can actually go up and touch it and feel it to see what the texture is. And then there's implied texture, where we can't actually touch it, so instead we draw the way it looks like it would feel. Like we did for our monster. We made him look like he was hairy. We gave him some texture there. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to go kind of on a scavenger hunt around our house and find different types of textures. And so I have some here that we can look at and find out the texture. I have a sponge, and so the texture of this sponge is soft and squishy. I have the texture of some burlap, which is like a fabric. It's really scratchy and rough. I have the texture of this plastic grass. It's really hard and spiky. I have some turf grass, and it's prickly. Prickly is the right word. Prickly is the texture of this turf grass. And I have a border from a bulletin board, and it's really bumpy. So there's lots of different textures. I'm sure there's textures all over your house. There's even lots of textures outside. And so I'm gonna show you how we're going to find our textures and show them on paper. We're gonna do that by creating what's called frottage. A frottage is a rubbing, so it transfers what is happening in real life. It transfers the physical texture to our paper. So I'll show you how to do that and we'll get started. Okay friends, we are gonna go on a texture scavenger hunt today. And so you're gonna need to get a couple of things. You're gonna need a white piece of paper and you'll need some crayons. I have some crayons that don't have a wrapper on it and that are flat. If you don't have any like that, you can always take a regular crayon, but we need it to be flat. So I can take the wrapper off of my crayon so I can use it like this. All right, so first for our texture scavenger hunt, we have to get our paper ready. So we're gonna try and take our paper and make 16 rectangles. Whew, I know that's a lot. So to do that, we're gonna have to fold our paper. So we're gonna start by folding it in half from top to bottom, trying to line up our edges. If it is not perfect, that is okay. And then rubbing it to make a crease. So now I'm gonna take my paper and fold it in half again from side to side. If it's not folding quite right, you can always put your hand in the middle to help you fold it over. Same thing, crease in the middle. And now we're gonna fold it from top to bottom. And then one more time. Now our paper's kind of thick, so it's a little bit harder to fold, but I'm gonna fold it one more time from side to side. Made my paper really small, okay? So now whenever I open it up, I should have 16 squares. Ooh, wrong side. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 squares. And so now in each square, I'm gonna try and add a texture. So I'm gonna make a rubbing to transfer our texture to our paper. Remember, that's called frottage. So I'm gonna find an uneven surface. So the texture of my table right here, it feels smooth. So I want to find an uneven surface. So I have a couple of things. I scavenged for a few things around in the art room. I found a leaf. So a leaf has an uneven surface with the veins. I found some burlap that has an uneven surface and some of this border. And so now what we're gonna do to make our rubbing or our frottage is we're going to put this underneath our paper in one of the rectangles, and I'm gonna get my crayon and I'm gonna turn it to its side. So like my crayon is sleeping, and I'm gonna rub it back and forth. And so now the texture of the border is transferring to my paper. Pretty cool. We wanna try and keep it still underneath so that it doesn't move around. All right, so now I have one texture and I'm gonna switch colors. I'll put the burlap underneath and make another texture in this square. And So I'm rubbing all around to find the textures, like a little scavenger hunt underneath too. I'll do the leaf. So I'm trying to find all the little veins of the leaf to show the texture. Boom. You can even go and find textures maybe of a rock, of the floor, of the wall, of anything with an uneven surface. Try and find the texture of that. All right, and so we're going to fill up all of your squares and find as many textures as you can. If you can't find 16 textures, that's okay. You can always repeat a texture. So I will repeat the burlap under the leaf. Make sure you can feel it under your paper. And rub it so you get all in the square. All right, so that is what we are doing today. We're gonna try and find as many textures as possible, and we're gonna fill up all of our squares, okay? So when you are all done, save this paper and put it in a safe spot so we can use it for next class and answer the discussion question in your Schoology. I hope you guys have so much fun and find lots and lots of textures. Happy creating.